Hoyoverse has always had good lore in their games, and Zenless Zone Zero is no exception. If you wanted to get started with knowing more about this world or you need a refresher, this video is for you. Zenless Zone Zero takes place in the post-apocalypse in a city called New Eridu after the old civilization was destroyed by a supernatural phenomena called hollows. New Eridu is home to a variety of citizens, including robotic citizens like Billy, who passed the forbidden fruit test. Think of it sort of like an advanced version of a Turing test. There are also demi-humans called Thyrans that range from your typical anime cat girl to your Zootopia OC. You also have Bangboos, which are mechanical creatures that were created to help others during hollow disasters, but now Bangboos do multiple different jobs and occupations. They run shops, they're security guards, they go through existential depression, you know, they're just like you and me. Living in New Eridu, hollows are pretty much a common occurrence. If you want to live in the city, you basically have to get used to it. The first hollow to appear is called Hollow Zero and is the oldest and most dangerous hollow. And it created 6 hollows called the original hollows: Cretan, Lemnian, Hawara, Persenis, Solov, and Papago. The size of a hollow relates to ethereal activity. The bigger the hollow, the more dangerous it is. Hollows are also known to make smaller hollows called companion hollows. It's still unclear when Hollow Zero first appeared, but from my research, hollows are at least 40 years old. In one of the quests, there's a character that went into a hollow 41 years ago. However, it seems like the old capital didn't fall until pretty recently. The inside of a hollow is incredibly dangerous. Inside, the air is heavier, there's going to be issues with certain technology, and there are monsters called ethereals. Ethereals have 10 classes of strength: antimony, zinc, tin, manganese, cadmium, nickel, copper, bismuth, lead, and mercury. Now, for any of my chemistry nerds out there, you would notice that these are all based off of heavy metals. I'm not sure why that is, but it is interesting to note. It's also really easy to get lost inside of a hollow because time and space gets wibbly wobbly inside and it becomes like a labyrinth, so you can't just run straight through. You don't want to get lost inside because even the air can kill you. If you stay inside of a hollow too long, you can get corrupted by ether and become an ethereal.
My hand seems to have crystallized already. And I'm not sure what it's gonna end up looking like. I'm thinking, if I turn into an ethereal first, just put me out of my misery. Turning into an ethereal sounds gross. I don't want to dribble and wander around going, ugh.
Even going into a hollow is bad once because you can develop a disease called cognitive corruption syndrome later in life. This disease causes you to lose your memories and your sense of reality. Needless to say, it's really depressing, especially because there is no known cure. Now, while ether is corruptive, it can also be used as an energy source. Part of the reason why the city of New Eridu was able to survive was because the founders were able to harness ether energy. This energy is then transferred through these large pillars called Shiryu pillars. To not get lost in a hollow, you need something called a carrot. A carrot is a time-sensitive map of inside of a hollow. This data is then imported into a Bangbu. Carrots are not particularly difficult to make, but they do require a lot of hollow data. Supposedly, they're called carrots because a legendary hollow raider coined the term. The city of New Eridu was able to survive because of 7 heroes. Each hero played their role by destroying high-level hollows and ethereals. The Sword Master, the head of the Hoshimi family, destroyed the Exaltus Overseer, which is this giant monster in the background. Sunbringer destroyed the High-Void Hollow, but more importantly, she created Bangboos. Joyous was the one that pioneered hollow exploration. Then you have Vike, Lieutenant Colonel Dan, and the leader of the Vulcanhain. These 3 pushed back something called the Dark Wall 37 kilometers. I'm American, I don't know what a kilometer is, but it equates to 23 miles, which is frickin' insane. And then finally, you have Professor Ark. He founded a school called the Helios Academy. He also went to investigate Hollow Zero, but never returned. Due to the deeds of these heroes, a new title was created in their honor called Voidhunter. Honestly, I do hope that we get to see these 7 heroes in the actual story. These characters have some great designs, and it would be such a waste to not see them. There are 2 ways to investigate hollows: the legal way, or the more fun way, illegally. If you do it the legal way, then you are a hollow investigator. If you do it illegally, you are a hollow raider. To be a licensed hollow investigator, you need to take an ether aptitude test. Your ether aptitude is how much you're able to resist ether corruption. If you have a 50 or higher, that means you are allowed to explore the inside of hollows. If you're below that threshold, you can still join the Hollow Investigation Association, but you're going to have a desk job. Also, either aptitude can change based on many factors, like your physical health, your mental health, which is why it's actually important to test somewhat frequently. It's also why, even though you have a high either aptitude, you're not immune from either corruption. Hollow Investigators also have the power to turn in any Hollow Raiders to the authorities because they're narcs. Now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about our protagonists, Wise and Belle. Wise and Belle own a video store called Random Play that they use as a front for their proxy business. Together, Wise and Belle are the legendary proxy Phaethon. A proxy is somebody that helps others navigate hollows illegally. We haven't really met any other characters that are proxies. What makes Wise and Belle special is that they're able to control their Bangbu EOS using the HDD. What makes this ability special is that Wise and Belle are able to communicate from outside of hollows, which is something that not even the HIA can do. It also makes Wise and Belle better navigators because care data can get out of date, but Wise and Belle can quickly make changes in real time. This ability makes it more efficient for Wise and Belle to personally help their clients navigate hollows while also being safe at a distance. They also befriended a super AI named Fairy, which is just one of 4. There's a lot of mystery surrounding the importance of Wise and Belle. I do think that they might be connected to Helios Academy. It's a little too coincidental that they use the name Phaethon, which is the son of the Greek god Helios. There's a photograph of them when they were younger. There's one person that's scribbled out and another person where the photo is burned. Obviously, I have no idea who these people are, but because it's anime, it's probably very tragic. Now, to get proxy work, Wise and Belle use the Internaut, which is an anonymous forum that proxies and clients can use to talk about hollows or post commissions. A faction that Wise and Belle consistently collaborate with are the Cunning Hares. Officially, their name is Gentle House, but they earned the nickname for their reputation for being cunning. Their leader Nicole liked the name so much, so that's the name they often refer to themselves as. Nicole grew up in an orphanage and at one point she was adopted, but for some reason she found herself back on the streets soon after. Nicole found Ambi in a hollow and she liked Ambi's combat skills so much, so she took her in. Ambi has been incredibly faithful and loyal to Nicole ever since, and she believes in Nicole's abilities. The Cunning Hares are a pretty small agency that mainly take commissions related to hollows, but they still take other jobs big and small. Yeah, the Cunning Hares also don't have a good reputation. They have a high rate of complaints and they tend to lose or damage the items they're looking for. The Cunning Hares are my favorite faction just because I love a good found family trope. Unfortunately, I wish I could go and give more fun facts about other factions. The problem is that I don't have all the characters or I don't have their trust rank all the way up, so I can't actually see their bios yet. Plus the wiki's slacking, so I don't have any information. If there's something I didn't mention about these factions, please leave it in the comment section below. I would love to learn more about these characters. The next faction is Belobog Heavy Industries, which is a construction company that specializes in hollow construction. They're known for being able to complete many projects in extreme environments that were created by hollows. From what I understand, the employees are certified hollow investigators. A majority of Belobog's workforce are Bearthyrans. Their leader Calydon is trying to regain the company's former glory after its reputation was tanked. The next faction is the Criminal Investigation Special Response Team. They're part of the new Eridu administration, which is just a long way of saying they're cops. You also have Victoria Housekeeping, which are the fan favorites. They're a faction that does various jobs for rich clientele. Don't quote me on this, but I believe that they are licensed. Section 6 is part of the organization HAND. I have no idea what that stands for yet. The full name is Hollow Special Operations Section 6. Breaking that down, HSO is an elite force that is dedicated to dealing with the most dangerous hollow missions, and Section 6 is the new group under them. They're led by Miyabi Hoshimi, and she is the descendant of one of the 7 heroes. Section 6 also has a really fun quote: "Eradicate all evil. We decide what evil is," which is definitely not an ominous thing to say. You also have the OBOL squad.
There's nothing here!
I don't know, I think they're military? There's not much to go off of. Now, to be fair, there is a connection between Soldier 11 and Ambi. My guess is that they're probably clones or genetically engineered soldiers. Either way, it would fit the sci-fi genre. The last faction that we know about are the Sons of Calydon, which is a biker gang that hang out on the outer edges of the city. Their faction kind of has this Greek-Roman theme going around. Their name is a reference to the Caledonian boar myth, which was this giant boar that was sent by Artemis to destroy the countryside of Calydon. So the king sent these heroes to hunt down that boar. I don't think the heroes' names were Piper or Lucy, so we'll see how this faction gets developed. There are hints that Billy was part of some biker gang before he joined the Cunning Hares. His jacket has a boar emblem on it, which it's a little too coincidental to the Sons of Calydon, which means more than likely he was part of that gang at one point. If you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. So far, I really like Zenless Zone Zero's story and world, and I want to cover more of it in the future. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time.